Welcome to the I Am Chair podcast. I am Chair.
I'm your host, Pine Jolt, and today I'm joined by co-hosts, Chair
Yellow.
and Frost Blooper, also known as Jorge. Another rousing introduction by Jorge. We've got quite a bit of candy in the studio, and he's currently shoving chocolate almonds into his face right in front of the microphone.
Long gaps of silence means we're chewing.
This is also, it's podcast / ASMR for all those who are fans of Frost Blooper.
Just as a little bonus, you know?
Oh yeah, just if
Podcast
you're into
with
that kind of
benefits.
thing, we got you covered. Today we're going to be talking about a couple subjects. We're going to talk about quality in the indie game market and just on the internet in general.
You can stop chewing into the mic now.
Well, I'm sorry. I have too much chocolate in my mouth.
As you can tell, we're going to be very coherent.
We're professional.
Yes.
We don't have cold tea this time.
Yeah, we don't have cold tea, so we've replaced that with cold lemonade, which is actually rather good.
More like lemonades, am I right?
With that, let's get right
No
into
comment.
the topic for today. Okay. So, I'm going to make a little analogy here. I know the Frost Blooper and Chair don't like that I'm going to make this analogy. At school, we've had an issue.
Sam, you're gay.
My name is Pine, and if you can't respect me, then I'm taking away your gummy worms.
Excuse me, I am a nice guy, and if you do not respect me, then you shall face my fury.
So, at school, we have computers that are pretty bad, but you can peel back the screen, and there's a magnet, so when you close the computer, it turns off to save battery.
We personally have never done it, but every computer now has a ripped screen, so you can tell.
Because you
people
can
have done
go in, take out the magnet. So they're super powerful magnets, but the joke is you can walk past working computers, swipe the magnet along the side,
It
and it
locks them.
turns off, so it locks them
They're
out.
shit computers.
because it's a sensor.
They're really shitty computers.
No,
No
it's because
swearing.
The magnet's in the screen because when you close the screen, it triggers another magnet, which turns the
Yeah, but
computer
the
into
computers
sleep
are
mode.
just bad by default.
So you can steal them, and people have a lot of fun with that. Continue with the analogy.
The issue is, today, the police showed up because apparently the people taking them out of the computer have caused over $400 in damages.
Oh my.
I've had several friends be called out of class to be interviewed.
You have no friends.
Josh, that's why we're all here.
It's Jorge.
It's Jorge, it's Jose.
For those of you who are questioning, he's our diversity quota, and we're just going to remind you of that. So we're going to cycle
Every
through the
episode.
stereotypical Mexican names during our podcast.
My wife is leaving me for a man named Esteban.
As you can tell, we've been on sugar for a while now, so
I think he's out of the opinion-making mood and is just,
yeah, he's going for full-on jokes. So the school magnets, what I'm doing is, the analogy here is that with a lot of indie games, they're asset flips. We're finding that they're asset flips. They're not good quality.
and
we're
wagoning.
Yeah, we're not thinking that they're good. They post the games thinking that there's going to be no repercussion. And currently, we're not seeing much of a repercussion other than the fact that there's a lot of bad games.
Yeah, they
But-
don't get punished for it.
Like with the police coming, it's magnets. No one thought that the police were going to come over magnets, right? Like with the police coming, there's going to be a repercussion somewhere. I'm just waiting for it to happen, and I'm not sure where it's going to happen or what's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, the problem is it's so easy to jump on the bandwagon because
It's too
nobody's getting
late.
punished so far, and so
It's
now
too
we're
late.
filled. Although the hype of the bad games has gone down since this summer.
Yeah.
Well, then again, Sony has been dipping their toes into the shitty asset flip market by putting Life of Black Tiger, giving them a trailer and everything. It's a free Android game that they're selling for $12.
It's terrible. Pyrocynical, I believe, made a video on it, so go watch that. We're not going to get into Life
Sponsored
of
by
Black
Pyrocynical.
No, but please contact us. We like you.
No, we like money.
Yeah, true. But again, with the asset flips and quality control, we're just seeing Steam getting backlogged with asset flips that aren't good games. Like if you look at Getting Over It, that's an asset flip. That's a beautiful game. And then there's the issue where there's bad games, and then there's games that are bad, but you have fun with
Well,
regardless.
that's the layer of complexity on things like Getting Over It. Like technically, yeah, it's a pretty crap-made game. If you look at things like Battlefield 1, sure, you can say it's a shallow game, but in terms of what's put into it, there's a lot of work that goes into those games. But then you look at Getting Over It, and yeah, it's not a very great, well-made game, but because of the entertainment value, it's worth a lot more than a lot of great games.
In an interview, I believe, Bennett Foddy actually said that getting over it was a hobby. He didn't think it'd be big. He said, this will be a little pastime, and then I'll make my famous game.
To be fair, Toby Fox with Undertale, he just made a game for himself. That managed to get big.
Yeah, he was lucky. He wanted to make a game that he could beat. That was was his reasoning behind Undertale.
He's about as good as a games journalist at games.
Yeah, so he wanted to make a game that he could beat. So asset flips, let's talk about those. For those of you who don't know, the definition of an asset flip is when you take pre-sourced code, so you can buy, like Unity, they have assets that you can use.
And starter kits for games.
Exactly. An asset flip is when you don't modify that in any way. They have very basic AI for enemies. And there's no retexturing of anything. There's nothing nice about an asset flip. Like if you're beginning and you're not going to post it and charge money for it, then fine, go for it. If you're learning, do that. But what we're seeing is a huge quantity of asset flips being put out as real games that you have to pay for.
They can occasionally be okay, like if they haven't been done before. Because but like you look at things.
There's that DayZ Minecraft ripoff.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a starter kit from Unity that
Yeah.
people just take, and it's meant to be customized and turned into a real game. It's unfinished code and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
People just put it on Steam, and that's it. It's
Yeah,
early,
they show
it's
up
early
at a-
access, and then they never touch it. And people
They show
still
up at
pay
a
for it.
construction site that's filled with materials and part of a blueprint, and they finish it and then say it's all just theirs.
Exactly. So asset flips, that's what they are. Look at getting over it. That's an asset flip, but
Shit,
that's a beautifully
Chair,
made asset flip.
That implies that the effort was put in to finish it. Most of the time, like that DayZ Minecraft
There
ripoff.
is occasional effort to actually change them up.
That
but in
PUBG.
general, in general, they're pretty effortless assets.
Actually, thinking of Minecraft, did you know that Notch said in an interview that he took heroic amounts of LSD to
Did in fact know that.
to complete Minecraft? That's how he made Minecraft. His great vision.
I don't know, that explains some of the design choices.
Yeah, creepers.
Those were probably a mistake. Those were already
Those were already a mistake. He was trying
But
to make a pig.
they were probably a mistake fueled by LSD.
Yeah.
So,
So, asset flips, we've determined they're pretty bad. I don't think anyone really enjoys asset flips as full-made games. Like, sure, if you're going to put a free game out there, if you're just learning, then fine. An asset flip is fine.
An issue we're discussing is not just asset flips, but what they're doing to the definition of the indie game market. Because asset flips are usually considered indie games, and now when you look at the term indie game, I don't know, what do you think? What do you think of the term indie game?
games. There are gems like Lisa, Undertale, the Cuphead, Shovel Knight. But for every good gem, there's at least 1,000 stinkers.
Absolutely.
That
Well,
are-
there's
have no-
some. Before indie games became such mainstream crap, most of the time there was some really interesting stuff. Like Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time is a great party game for a bunch of different people. There was one that was released. This is back when indie games were just one of the things on the market. There weren't many of them around. Like some games that are really well made, not necessarily complex in gameplay. Like Thomas Was Alone. Did either of you see that?
No.
It's simplistic in gameplay, but a lot of indie games people enjoyed, and now people, the indie games kind of just means amateur.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the inflated budget and tools that they're given. It isn't just a passionate project anymore. It's just
Give me money.
I don't know.
give me money. Especially with most Kickstarters, all Kickstarters are a gamble at this point, because before we have proof of this, that it's going to become a project and everything, and now it's just give me money and we might give you a game, and there's no promise, because you as soon as they usually have either flexible goals, which allows them to keep the money that they've made, or if they reach the goal, well, you're never seeing it back.
Exactly.
The game probably gets canceled some.
Yeah, well, especially the issue of early access and how liberal Steam is on letting anything in as early access.
Yeah, and as instead of fixing a problem, having some kind of quality control, they just ruin it for everybody.
There's an indie game released 5 years ago, and this is the worst example I know of this, but it was released on early access 5 years ago with only an arena mode, to one map to play around in, and now it's been improved, but that's 5 years effort. It's called Overgrowth. and it's just you play as a rabbit, and it's a fighting game. And it's
I've heard of that. Yeah, now that you
see,
mentioned,
there you go. No, it's a really trying to be realistic fighting game, which could be very fun. It's a bit of a unique thing, trying to be a really realistic melee fighter. But 5 years, I went back and watched a video, and I realized they've added stuff, but it still seems so incomplete of a game.
Yeah. I remember watching Let's Plays of it back years ago.
Yeah,
and thinking
exactly.
this is an interesting idea.
Exactly.
I've forgotten about it completely until you just mentioned it.
To be fair, the analogy that could be used for it's like a fan fiction. It's like
We're not going to talk about this.
no, it's something that's like just left unfinished, and
There's
then
the weeb in the room.
the weeb in the room. No, anime is gay. Will always
We're a
be.
family-friendly channel. We stop talking, Jorge.
There comes a point when...
Yeah.
Just
Let's talk about Steam's lack of control in this scenario.
Well, there's a perfect example to start off. 5 years of early access, people promised a game and nothing.
to be fair, like there's a game studio that Valve only recently like took off Steam. 600,000 games in 2 years. All like shovelware asset flipping and
Just a few.
Yeah.
And that's one studio. Imagine the vast amount of like that's one studio, right?
There are some games that fall in between being indie crap and decent games, and sadly they're caught in the trap of the early access, because you realize these aren't bad games, but they're caught in the trap of
Like-
constantly being, we could add more.
Like,
You
well,
know?
I dislike PUBG for reusing many assets. It's like getting over it, where it's in the middle, where it's not quite an indie gem like Undertale, Lisa, or Shovel Knight. It's not quite there, but it's not the shovelware that people have come to expect.
Exactly.
I personally quite enjoy survival games, or at least the idea of them. They've become a really mainstream thing, and it's crap. But one that got quite a bit of attention, is still decently popular. Ark Survival Evolved for a while was pretty popular, but basically they promised a full game, kept adding way more than they needed to. Once they finally released it as the game, they tried to add so much content that they forgot to actually finish the game to get rid of bugs, and so it was released a decent game. It's fun, but it's not a finished game. They tried to release it too early because they'd been going for too long unreleased.
Let's talk about bandwagoning.
When you like, what would you in what context?
In the context of, so you see Cuphead coming out, there's incredible amount of hype, but Polygon makes a video on it, the game journalists are terrible, and immediately other people will start bandwagoning onto that and say, oh, Cuphead, it's too hard,
on
too
both
hard.
It's the extremes on both sides, and it's kind of like this theory that has been especially prevalent the past few years, like mainly with like Five Nights at Freddy's and Undertale, where it's the 1%. Where the 1%, it's the minority of a vocal shit, like awful minority of a fandom. But the bigger a fandom gets, like the other 99%, assuming that it's not, are perfectly fine. They can be the best people. They can be just enjoy the game. But that 1%, if it's only 100 people, it's only one person. But if it grows to 1 million,
Now you've got a 1,000.
yeah, you have a sizable amount. We're not good at math
Depending on
here.
how talkative they are on the internet, that can make a
It
difference.
contributes.
Take a look at Rick and Morty. It's a great show.
I want my Szechuan sauce. Where's my Szechuan sauce?
It's a great show.
Szechuan sauce.
It's a great show.
Pickle Rick.
Speaking of bandwagoning, we're making a point here. That's what he's doing.
Here it's closer to 33%, but
Yeah, there's 3 of us, so 33% of us are just terrible person.
yeah. We're looking at you, Pine Jolt.
How did that flip so quickly?
Yeah. You're trying to oppose your obedience, trying to oppose us to be obedient because you're the leader.
Yes.
You have the best chair, and my name's chair.
No, Jorge has the
You
best
are
chair.
a chair.
Troy's not on a chair.
You don't need a good chair. You are a chair.
Exactly.
Why are you complaining? Like,
Yeah.
we've already stated that you don't get
You're the one who accused him.
you don't get the new chair first.
I get no chair. This is a stool.
We're probably gonna take that one away, and then
You'll sit on the floor.
no, he'll sit
I'll
on.
sit the whole time. Get to the end, and I'll be panting.
That could be a challenge one video.
I'll put some last stab in his mouth.
No. So bandwagoning. There's the issue. We're talking about Rick and Morty. And it's a great show by many regards. It's not perfect, but the minority of the fandom that just got so toxic.
I want my Szechuan sauce.
You know what? We're not going to talk about this.
This is making a point at the yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. So we've talked about Steam's lack of control. I know we've been mainly games so far, but I want to go into YouTube's lack of control. YouTube recently, like again, there was a third adpocalypse a while ago, and we're still seeing the repercussions with demonetization.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why it's such a big issue. For years, we were seeing videos that are much worse than the stuff that's up there today.
Well, to be fair, never in the history of YouTube has like YouTube's preferred creator
Filming a dead body. Yeah.
filmed a dead body and dabbed on it and plugged his merch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did he plug his merch in that video?
Yes, he did.
At the beginning, and he was wearing it
twice.
He plugged it twice, and then like he was wearing it the whole time, and he literally took pictures and searched through the guy's
People
pockets.
buying his stuff as a joke probably makes millions of dollars.
He doxed Post Malone when this stuff. Post Malone bought his stuff, and he ended up getting doxed.
Speaking of Post Malone, have you seen the picture where it's the Mona Lisa and they've put Post Malone's face on, so it's the
No.
Post Malone Lisa?
Post Malone.
As you can see, not only YouTube has a lack of control. Let's talk about. So we're Susan Wachowski. How do you say her name? How do you say it? It's
Susan Wachowski?
Wachowski. I don't know.
Kachowski.
Who's Susan Wachowski?
It's the
The
CEO.
CEO of YouTube.
Oh.
Susan Wachowski.
I didn't know this yesterday.
Okay.
All right, we're turning off his mic for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah. I know this has been talked about a lot. The YouTube Rewind at the very beginning, the very beginning of it.
Chair, put the phone down.
Yeah.
I'm threatening you.
The very. I'm confused now. What was I talking about?
Susan
Jorge's grabbing a
Wachowski.
drink of
Oh yeah,
lemonade.
at the beginning of the YouTube Rewind, the very first creator we see isn't a creator. It's Stephen Colbert. Like,
At least it wasn't what's his James Corden.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's in it though. That's
Is
the
he?
yes.
Oh, there we
So
go.
was our
The issue is we go from Stephen Colbert, who's a TV host,
to be fair
to Liza Koshy, and to Lele Pons,
Wait, is
who are
James
Viners.
Corbin the car karaoke one?
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
yeah,
who he is.
James Corden. Corbyn is a UK British politician.
Yeah, there are two different people, Corden and Corbin.
Well, who's who?
Corden is the obese car karaoke guy. Who,
Okay, no, yeah, no,
he's
he
like
started-
a male Amy Schumer.
Yeah,
He was
essentially.
on 4 episodes of Doctor Who, and so that's why I love him.
Yeah, and then there's Corbyn, who is the Labor leader right now. And
We're not going to talk about politics.
I like
Look at those looks. He was great on Doctor Who. His name was Craig.
that name is probably the funniest he'll ever be.
But in YouTube Rewind, we go from having a TV show host to two Viners who transitioned to YouTube.
And
And
one of which literally just came off of a controversy involving calendar prices.
followed by a girl that nobody knows.
Then a segment that's way too long on bottle
Irrelevant.
Followed by Despacito. We're followed by musicians.
Hey, to
In the
be fair-
first
hey, to be
about
fair-
minute, we see no YouTubers.
In
flipping.
2012,
You're completely right. I hadn't thought of that.
to be fair, in 2012, Gangnam Style was like the main focus. So, you know, if we're gonna judge YouTube Rewinds for having things that were popular during that year, 2016 had Damn Daniel without his shoes, and 2012 had a Gangnam Style. So, like, we're gonna judge the popular song on YouTube that year.
Well, they did a huge segment in the new one on bottle flipping.
And fidget spinners, our
Did they
favorite
do a fidget
meme.
spinner part?
Logan Paul and Jake Paul were like DJing. with
They were a
fidget
huge-
Oh,
spinners.
right. They
They had Marshmallow,
DJ
and I'm okay with
yeah,
Marshmallow. I like
turntables.
Marshmallow. But when so much of the video is focused on TV show hosts,
Oh, and you wanna
Viners,
you want to know all the animators?
it makes me upset because now Susan, well, she's getting what she wants, isn't she? She's getting YouTube to be more of a.
She
of a-
only.
she's getting it.
she's
She's turning
only-
it into a TV.
She's only actually used YouTube this year and had the most disliked video of all time
Yeah.
in the first 24 hours. So it's kind of debatable whether the current leadership is actually competent.
If you want quality controlled shows, and that brings us back to the quality control, because if you want quality controlled shows that are going to be approved content, published content, you can't just get your stuff published without having a publisher.
Just control
then you
your
watch
platform.
TV. You watch TV and you have shows and stuff. If you want what YouTube delivers, which is a whole different side of entertainment, it's people doing stuff
a
that somebody might
grassroots
like.
type-
It's
It's like the
indie
indie game.
entertainment.
It's indie. It's like the
It's
indie
indie
gaming.
entertainment.
But once again, just like indie gaming, it has been flooded with garbage, and it's just the leadership isn't competent enough to do anything with it. And one thing that was like really upset me about the YouTube Rewind this year is that they completely shafted animators. They were all in the credits. They weren't paid for it, and the most there were like 2 specific animators, the 2 smallest ones, made a video pointing towards the YouTube Rewind like, hey, we're in it.
Yeah.
They got taken down, demonetized. It's ridiculous.
It's incredible because if you take a look at YouTube Rewind in and of itself, who do we not see in it? We don't see iDubbbz, which isn't a big surprise.
They shafted Filthy Frank for years because he was the anti-establishment YouTuber, and I guess iDubbbz and PewDiePie have adopted that moniker of
But
the
if you look at
anti-establishment.
it, we don't see iDubbbz, we don't see PewDiePie,
for good reason.
we don't see Max Mofo.
To be fair, Max Mofo fell under the radar.
Yeah, true.
Lately, he's doing unboxings, and my biggest disappointment of all is that we don't see Spider-Man and Elsa.
Oh yeah, we don't see H3H3.
Where's
And
Spider-Man
that's
and
where-
Elsa?
Yeah, because that was actually a huge part of YouTube.
Didn't
And
they let Philly D finally do something with it?
I think so.
Yeah,
But-
that's the one positive. But
The thing
they
is,
shafted every animator. They shafted the anti-establishment ones, of course. And where's my Spider-Man and Elsa? What happened to my children's entertainment?
let's go into that a little bit. Actually,
Ethan Bradbury is thick. Please sponsor me.
I'm not following because I don't know who these people are.
Oh,
Okay.
he's like an old prankster who started doing the Spider-Man and Elsa videos.
I don't know
Yeah.
what Spider-Man else, but it
The
doesn't matter.
creepy child stuff.
yeah, that was a huge part of YouTube, and we've had like literally dozens of major YouTubers making videos on this. And what does YouTube do? They turn the other way. They pretend it doesn't happen
until the
until
Wall Street
there's
Journal actually did something.
until the media takes notice. YouTube lets it go because guess what? It gets them revenue. You know what else gets them revenue? Monetizing videos.
Well, they can't monetize videos if there are no advertisers.
Well, that's exactly the issue. YouTube was forced into it. Although
They're forced advertisers are leaving because YouTube can't control their platform, and the solution to that is to cause even more unrest and ruin
the good things
creators.
they had.
YouTube just conformed to the advertisers. Like, oh, we don't want this, and so YouTube's like, oh, you
To be fair,
control us.
Google,
but ultimately, YouTube controls the advertiser a bit too. YouTube is a huge way to get kids to see products.
Allegedly, YouTube bleeds money, but it's Google. I don't see how they bleed money. Really, like they do. It's like you can see why people would cut advertising and make them bleed money, but before what they're making so much money, and the advertisers, what would you rather it's really easy to advertise on them, and you get the most out of it. YouTubers advertise on it, which is how much of a circle it's become. So the demonetization makes no sense. It's almost to a fault because yes, control was needed, but not how it was implemented, because they implemented a bot that was brand new and learned as it went, and it's still learning. It's like if you get a 1-year-old to start, it's basically if you have a baby and you raise it on teaching it this, it's not going to be right immediately. So
Yeah.
honestly, if the Google has enough resources to hire enough people,
Actually, earlier we were doing a bit of research for the podcast today, and Cher was
We were?
actually going through. Yeah.
all right.
Well, we had Jorge over
Yeah,
here looking
some
at
of
memes.
us were doing research.
Memes are good.
No, you were judging people for their Roblox abilities.
Yeah.
Roblox is the premier gaming experience. Please sponsor me. I like money.
But Cher was actually looking at the YouTube community guidelines, and why don't you tell us a bit about those? Because I think a lot of it flies under the radar. No one who makes YouTube videos actually looks at them unless they're quite a large channel, or if
Unless
they get
they're
flagged.
affected by it.
Exactly.
You know, there's such blatant guidelines that they give, such wide covering things that honestly.
They're vague enough to let them
They,
like
they-
pick and choose.
But they aren't vague enough. Sure, they don't go into specifics, and that way they're vague. But they cover so much with what general ideas they give that you got to realize that
Yeah.
they can't be enforcing all of that word by word.
No.
You know, they have.
Like
Even
fake-
at the end, you have to click a separate link to see more policies. You know, they're like, oh, to see other policies, and they play it off like, oh, they're just small policies, like paperwork sort of stuff that we
But
have
they're
to tell
usually
you.
stuff that
The only policy in that tab that they've hidden sort of under a link there, you know, it's not just up for the eye to see if you don't click on anything. The only policy they've hidden, it's one policy, and that's the foul language one. So that they hide that one away because like, oh, you know, we know that people won't like seeing that you can't swear because
Yeah, but
so many people
somebody
do.
actually leaked the guidelines. It's 5 to 8 is the range, unless you're a YouTube ad preferred. 5 to 8 swears, censored or not, is the limit. But we can exploit it here because it's per person. Oh, don't please, YouTube, please monetize us. Just let me subscribe to myself.
48 times.
We need 1,000.
We have 15 to 28 or 24 swears.
Please like and subscribe
For more awesome original content.
maybe you'll see me get lynched on set one day.
Talking about Logan Paul finding a body, that's some original content.
Never been done before.
Did a dab on the deceased.
For
You
those of
droned
you,
out the diff for about an hour.
for those of you who can't see, Jorge just went into a low dab on the couch, and he's not getting up.
He's still there.
I'm stuck.
Your body is contorting in that position.
He's gone insane. All he sees are the Martians.
Send help.
Yeah, this is not a Marina Joyce situation. We're actually being held captive. Please help us.
Marina Joy.
Maria Joyce, she was ISIS lizard reptile ninjas held her hostage and belted her apparently.
Well, I've never heard it put that way before.
Yeah, no, I can't say I've heard it put that way.
The cameras here are disabled. You guys are stuck.
Oh, you know the issue with quality control in YouTube is you can't go too far. It's going to become TV, which we don't want. You can't go too little though, because then it's going to become stuff like
Terrorist
iDubbbz
beheadings.
cough. Nothing.
I like dabbing on the deceased. I think Logan Paul had a point there where that guy should have bought his merch.
Did he say that?
No, no. But did you see? There's a video. Like there were two separate things. Where like one of a Logan Paul black tweeting at like Keemstar like I would die to be in a Logan Paul video. That man should feel honored. I'm a maverick, and then he like dabs 20 times. And then there was the other time where a Logan Paul fan who apparently invested in the Bitcoin and is like a little millionaire now, said that he would pay people to go to H3's house to go to the podcast set and gun them all down because Logan Paul was correct.
Isn't that great?
I sure love children, you know. Wait, aren't we children?
Every day we stray further from God.
God has already
Closer
abandoned.
to the dank memes.
Yeah,
We stray closer to our good friend Satan.
Forgot the orange.
Satan, please sponsor us. We are looking for money. I'm not sure where we are.
Okay, so we were between demonetization, this thing that says tentacles, and the "fuck you, stupid idiot" trending page.
On
back
that
to
note,
you.
let's talk about why I think PewDiePie is the perfect figurehead for YouTube. God, that's
It's a
great.
good
YouTube
transition.
should have no figurehead.
No, I actually believe that we should have a face of YouTube, and the fact that PewDiePie is so far ahead of everyone else, he just hit 60 million. No one else is remotely close to that.
Fred was bigger than him at one point.
He's established himself as the head of YouTube. It's kind of impressive.
It is, yeah. I think the reason we should have a figurehead is because if someone can distinguish themselves that much from the rest of the community, they deserve to be
If
recognized.
they make a mistake as Titanic as Logan Paul's.
But
then the
PewDiePie's
whole
not
platform
going to
goes
make...
doesn't take it seriously
Yeah,
enough.
the media went on him harder than they did on Logan Paul.
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. Logan Paul, what he did was a million times worse. PewDiePie, he said the N-word, right? That was pretty much
he
it.
Said, he got 5 G's just to say that Hitler did nothing wrong, which is a joke, sure. He got 2 guys to wave around a sign that said "Subscribe to Keemstar," which is the worst thing he's ever done.
Yeah, but-
Death to all Jews. I mean, that's debatable, but subscribe to Keemstar. That's why he got demonetized. I think he deserved it purely because of that.
Okay.
Even the N word, not as bad as saying subscribe, paying people to willingly say subscribe to Keemstar. Ridiculous.
Keemstar is a rat, but we can admit PewDiePie's done some messed up stuff. He has done some messed up stuff for sure, and
He's done some good stuff. Like, he gave his golden play button to somebody on the road.
Yes.
I'm
Exactly.
not saying he's some incredible, mascot for charity, but
Yes, but,
he hasn't desecrated a dead body.
they did end up raising like 1.3 million last year
He
on the
has.
To be
charity
fair,
stream.
Jacksepticeye and the aftermath of Logan Paul's thing did a charity live stream and everything for the American Suicide Prevention Foundation.
And see, Jack is a
base.
great guy all around. If you look at his videos, if you follow his vlogs,
Yes, but can he do this?
Can he do this? That's a meme that's going to be dead in a week.
I love memes. They always have a shelf life.
What's that one from?
That's PewDiePie's chair, $3.99.
No, it
Go
isn't.
buy
No,
it
it
now.
isn't.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it isn't. It's based off of a comic that was made when the 2DS came out.
True. Yeah, but PewDiePie popularized it. I think the reason he's such a good figurehead is because he doesn't do one type of content.
He steals everybody's content.
That's the point. It's
He
not
does whatever he feels like, which is a thing of kind of admirable beauty.
Admirable.
We're not going to make fun of lisps or stutters
I
or
am
ethnicity.
speed.
Jorge. Okay.
Ethnicity or sexual
Ethnicity?
orientation? Or
Yeah.
Ethnicity.
I am speed.
I am speed.
You okay over there, Pine?
No.
Yeah, he's had a rough time.
I've had a real rough time.
He got left. His girlfriend left him 3 times
Oh yeah, lovely.
for a man named Esteban.
Which ironically is going to be Jorge's name next podcast.
It's all going to
You mean it's
plan.
going to be Esteban's name?
Yeah,
It's-
of
Speaking
course.
future tense here.
It's all going to plan.
But I think if you take a look at it, PewDiePie made a video where he literally talked about his favorite manga for like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
That's it.
then he told people to subscribe to Keemstar. Unacceptable.
I realize as PewDiePie does more of the
whatever
video
he
talking
wants.
things, is that it's at the same time, and I'm not saying necessarily he's bandwagoning, but it is at the same time as vlogging is becoming more of a mainstream thing.
It was always
He is becoming more of a vlogger.
Vlogging has always been a mainstream type of thing.
Yeah,
you
but
just pick
I'm
up a
with
camera and film the
him.
best aspects of your
Do you
life.
remember Amnesia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When PewDiePie played that? That was a huge thing. He used to
Everybody
be a
played
gaming
that.
channel.
Everybody played.
Everybody
He still
played
is a gaming channel.
But
he
I'm saying
screeched his way
as the
through it, getting
vlogging
over
thing
it.
comes around, he is doing more vlogging.
But the thing is, no, because he's made videos explaining why he made the transition. He wasn't happy the way things were before, and now he just does what he wants to do. He's not forcing his content, which is why I think there's been such a spike in.
Well, to be
in
fair,
quality.
it's way too safe to do that. Like, there's like taking a risk, or you're a small channel, you have your base of people who came to see you. Like, it's like if right now we have like 2 subscribers, both of them being ourselves,
Yeah.
and like we want.
we don't
let's
even
say, let's
have
say,
all of us subscribed.
let's say we want the podcast, right? And we just switch to gaming, and it's like we just leave because when we find somebody else,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm gonna do. So,
Well, risky jumps can be a incredible
but
thing for a
PewDiePie
channel's
already had
future.
a massive lead over the next channel down. So it's not a risk if you're just, I'm going to switch to doing whatever I want because it doesn't matter. You already have those 50 million subscribers in the bank.
No, I find I go back to him and I realize every video is, he's still interesting.
Yeah.
It's never boring, repetitive.
Like,
I mean,
even the
sure, it's
video-
But to be
repetitive,
fair, it's kind of
arguably.
his meme reviews kind of came right after Anthony Fantano's.
But
Kinda
the thing
kicked
is, he jokes about that. He refers to the fact that he stole it from
He
Antifa.
bandwagons jokingly, but you can tell that it still is his own
To be
passion.
fair, it's his content now since Anthony Fantano deleted his channel because everything got demonetized and killed.
Yeah.
He does music reviews. I'm not gonna.
We're not-
He does music reviews. That's
it.
I disagree with him on a bit.
On a little bit. Yeah. But the reason why I think PewDiePie is such a perfect figurehead is because he's a funny guy. Like, you're never bored during his videos. Like, even the video where he makes Swedish meatballs. He managed to make that funny. Not even I enjoy cooking. And I don't.
By the way, PewDiePie, please sponsor us.
Yeah.
It's
I
because
like
of his
money.
nonchalant attitude. He
Let's
never
get
is
Chair a new
worrying
chair.
about
Let's
it.
get Chair a PewDiePie chair.
Chair doesn't need a chair. No, you
Can you do this?
But can you? He can bend over right now. Like do it. Not.
Yeah. I can lift off the legs.
No,
and
but like, can
collapse.
you bend your back backwards? You have the door. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I can do this. Like, look.
look, this is an audio stream. There's no
we'll
video.
just get what's his face? We'll just get Will after we belt him to do this.
Will is our artist. He's great.
Code name, Will.
Autist.
He's our artist.
Artist.
But he's done our thumbnails, and the joke
He's
is
done a thumbnail, and we had to belt him for it.
no, we didn't belt him. Trust
You
us.
built.
I belted him.
Frost threatened to belt him.
Who says I did? Who says I didn't belt him?
Will.
Oh shit. That's fun. Who turned the speaker off?
You.
I did not turn the speaker off.
I'm gonna blame you on this one.
Yeah, that's
It is your speaker.
all right. There.
Let's
we
get
go.
that music back.
All right, perfect.
I always love that ambient music. It's always great.
Look at that.
we were-
Back in place.
Back in place.
We missed it for like 10 minutes.
We've set the mood now. Look at that. Pass me some chocolate almonds, please. I need to set my own mood. I wish I brought another orange. I could have thrown it at you.
Yeah, I have all the ammunition this time.
Frost just nailed Chair in like the chest with a
With
chocolate,
3 chocolate
almond.
almonds, but actually, I picked
Stop
them all up.
throwing them.
I've caught them all. This is awesome. Although they're melting in my hands as I hold them.
Good.
A great thing with PewDiePie is he had like his mental breakdown a year ago, right? But
Which one?
Did he?
he did. He left YouTube for a while. He was just done.
Well, with his fan base, you can leave for a decent amount of time. you
Exactly.
still-
With his fan base, you're gonna be forced to leave a couple times.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
take a look at like H3H3. More and more we're seeing content creators who just aren't happy. H3H3 disappeared, comes back and makes a video saying that he's been depressed. Like he's been trying Frost put the wine bottle down. But
That's a delayed reaction.
it was a delayed reaction. I was trying not to comment on it. I was trying to see if I could go without making a comment. But
Comedy gold.
H3H3 comes back and says he's been depressed. He's been making videos.
crippling depression.
Good meme. He says he's been making videos, but he hasn't been able to upload them because he's just not happy with them. He's not happy in general. And
Which is a bit of a powerful thing to say. I'm not pleased with what I'm doing, so I'm gonna wait.
yeah,
As much as I'm sure a lot of people would still
to be fair, it's
try to
better-
enjoy that.
It's better than the eat a dick, stupid idiot. I'm leaving because I hate you guys type of way to go out.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he did come back, and he's started posting again, and I'm glad.
Always about Logan Paul, and
We're not going to talk about
rape
Logan
is
Paul.
good.
What's the word you use when people are like, oh, I just love my viewers? You had a word for it.
Pandering.
Pandering. When we talk about the approaches of leaving YouTube, you can just
Yeah.
leave and do nothing or say, oh, I hate you guys. But when you come back, there is always the approach, if they come back, the apologetic approach of, I'm sorry, but, I'm back now. And,
Yeah.
it was hard with all of the haters, but I just... Then they
You gotta dab
pander
on them.
and say, oh, but most of you guys are great. And that is kind of
You got to dab
pandering.
on the haters.
Did you know that dabbing on the haters in Latin translates to dabbing in austeros? Ow!
Which is relevant.
Yeah.
It's completely relevant. I mean, if we're talking about dabbing on the deceased, I mean, come on. Why can't we just dab on everybody?
Boots and cats. And did you learn that in...
Yeah.
we were
I
taught how
have
to
more
beatbox
almonds.
in school.
I have more almonds, chair.
You have a bowl worth. You could throw the bowl at me. Is probably
Just
what's
throw
gonna
the bowl.
happen at the end of this.
Let's talk about trending on
Oh,
YouTube.
what you mean the
No.
fuck you, stupid idiot trending page?
We may or may not just to choose to
offending
censor. We're going to censor you out.
doesn't count the demonetization.
Delete your audio file.
Yeah.
Delete my audio file.
There'll be chunks missing, but it'll be better than this.
I find the trending because on YouTube, On the
It's
phone,
manually selected.
on the phone, there are five
Manually
separate separate things on the separate categories. One of them is the more, and then the channel options and your stuff if you have playlists.
It's manually
and then
selected, right?
The three of them are there's like new stuff and there's just recommended stuff, and then one of them is trending. One of the 5 entire tabs is just the trending stuff, and I go on there. It's just Jimmy Kimmel. Parts of
Jimmy
his
Kimmel talks about
shows and
school shooting.
mostly music videos, which YouTube, yeah, sure, you can use it as a music sharing website, but
But keep it off of trending. Keep it in the music tab.
Yeah, but
like we have a music tab.
yeah, you could have a music trending channel.
You can also have a
Exactly.
Jimmy
That's
Kimmel
Vivo.
trending channel.
Yeah, like keep the. This has been a huge pet peeve of mine when I see trending page being only Jimmy Kimmel,
wanna know
Jimmy
the worst
Fallon,
thing?
It's
Ellen,
always
James
just
Corden.
that.
The fact that Jimmy, like, people can talk about the shooting in any way possible, like any shooting,
Demonetized.
and demonetized or taken down, and then like Jimmy Kimmel's like, oh yeah, the shooting, and then he makes a bunch of jokes and everything. It's like, no.
Well, Susan Mikowski's getting what she wants. She's
And,
getting YouTube to
Logan-
be
and
to a
trending
place.
is manually
It is becoming TV.
Yeah.
YouTube is trending is manually selected. So if you're gonna say, oh, the algorithm picked Logan Paul's, no,
it's not.
it
It's
was manually reviewed 3 times.
Trusted
Once-
Flagger posted about it. Trusted
No,
Flagger.
it was manually reviewed to be put on trending.
Yeah.
Then it was reviewed for monetization and to be taken down after it was flagged. So it was reviewed
Trusted Flagger
3 times
is a,
manually.
He
YouTube hero.
He's a YouTube hero.
YouTube hero.
He was a YouTube hero before there were YouTube heroes. He's honestly one of the best people out there. He goes through and he's fair about what he does. Like, he doesn't just flag everything he disagrees with. He actually follows guidelines. He does things well.
Damn it! So he doesn't flag James Corden.
No,
Damn it.
unfortunately, no.
That's
But
why I've applied to become a YouTube hero. YouTube accept me. I will delete James
YouTube
Corden.
sponsor us. We like money.
We will delete James Corden.
Yeah.
That's what we'll replace him.
But-
How about Jorge tries to be whore quiet?
More quiet. Tis. Let's get the chocolate almonds away from Jorge because he's just throwing them at us.
I think Pine's trying to make a point here, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I forgot my point. Thanks.
I think we were on the.
No, we're not going back to that. What was my point? What was I talking about?
That's always a great
Trending
place to
page
be in a
being bad.
podcast.
Yeah.
What the heck were we at again?
Yeah. I'm really confused. Oh, Trusted Flagger. Right.
Yeah, there we go.
So he flags the video, right? That means it was manually reviewed by someone at YouTube and they're like, yep, this is good.
I feel like what would be really funny is if Trusted Flagger reviewed it all 3 times. They're like, this is good.
No, he posted on Twitter. He's like,
No, but what
I
would
flagged.
what would be funny if if he actually reviewed it all 3 times. He put it on trending. He did everything with it. That'd just be funny.
Yeah. But
And,
he posted on Twitter about it, saying he flagged this. Somebody on YouTube manually reviewed it. Nothing happened. And if you look at it, Logan had to remove it himself because of backlash. YouTube didn't do anything at all.
I mean,
They did
he
nothing
doesn't.
about
He doesn't
that?
need.
No.
He doesn't need views. He gets the views.
Yeah.
Sam.
God, that really puts a bit of a pin in things. They can't just say, oh, here are the rules now, because when they're making a lot of money off the rules,
Suddenly the rules
of
don't
breaking
apply.
the rules, then they don't apply. Oh, Logan Paul's popular. Well, you can
Again,
break a couple.
Let's take a look at PewDiePie.
Didn't
He
I-
says the N-word. His entire series is canceled. His second season's canceled. Done. No more. His videos are
At
getting
least
demonetized.
at least the
The
thing is
apocalypse.
gone.
Yeah. The apocalypse begins. Logan Paul films a dead body, laughing hysterically as he does so.
And with the Toy Story hat.
Exactly.
Buy my merch.
The entire time he's in Japan, he's
Oh,
incredibly.
speaking of which, Logan Paul, sponsor us, please.
the entire
I
time
like
he's,
money.
the entire time he's in Japan, he's disrespectful.
Japan, sponsor us, please.
Just as a country.
Just the country. Like,
Yeah.
just give us money.
But not the weeb part of the country.
God damn it, Sam. We need,
Sam,
we need all the
I
money.
can't find the non-weeb part of the country.
I love being racist on podcasts. Isn't it fun?
Yeah, I know. I have a friend who went to Japan for 2 weeks, and they said each superstore, all of their Costco equivalents, all had an anime mascot. I'm not saying they're weebs, although I don't know
It's a
weeb
Costco
means
Chan.
necessarily. But
Costco
anime
Chan.
is very integrated in their culture.
It's Costco.
True.
It's Costco Chan.
It's like having cartoons for us. We see them everywhere. And sure, there are going to be Westerners like us who just completely destroy the idea of it.
Yeah.
It's you can get your Costco Chan body pillows at our website.
Costco Chan.
But yeah, it's he's disrespectful. He films a dead body, laughs about it, dabs on the deceased.
He didn't dab on it. But
Yeah,
because
but-
it's just a bit.
You
of
realize
hyperbole.
that everybody that goes for the news of PewDiePie saying the N-word, they're all effectively bandwagoners. Like I find it very interesting, honestly, to talk to elders, that sort of thing, who've grown up in a different time and ask, what's different? What's been misconceived by our generation? The one thing, in light of this topic is the N-word.
Yeah.
I've talked with countless elders. They all say the same thing. The N-word used to be a word, just an insult for a person. It was never racially directed back then when it first came about. Now it's been turned, it might have been racially directed in some circumstances, but from everyone I've talked to, it started off not being that way. And I don't approve of swears to insult people in any case, so sure. But the thing is that they say, oh, PewDiePie said the N-word, and everybody, because of the forced bandwagon mentally on the internet, just jumps on, oh, that's a horrible thing. And yeah, it's
to
a
be
horrible
fair,
thing. But you realize there's some people who use it really openly, and they don't judge them. But because PewDiePie is a good news site headline,
Yeah.
they judge him for
PewDiePie
that.
is a Nazi is a great
Headline.
And speaking of which, on this subject, J.K. Rowling is so good at writing fiction. She should write some novels. But aside from that, what's a better headline? PewDiePie makes an insensitive joke, or PewDiePie's a Nazi or a white supremacist.
Exactly.
But the same situation can be said with Tana Mongoloid
Yeah.
and edupes. So what happened was Tana.
This is old news, by the way. Go
This
watch
is really
their
old
videos.
news, but basically Tana calls out iDubbbz for being edgy.
Yeah.
But in the same tweet, she rejects the edgy joke, where it's like
With her own edgy
and
joke.
then tells him to kill himself as an edgy joke. So iDubbbz gives her money to go do something. He goes, poses like, yeah, say the N-word, right? And it's like, sure. But she takes those $200 to not do anything.
Yeah.
And she canceled it for everybody, not just for him.
Those
Yeah.
two are my favorite examples, Tana Mongoloid and iDubbbz, because they both use it. I'm not judging either
but-
of
and
them. I'm saying they both
somehow-
use the N-word
openly.
very regularly, and
somehow-
yet they're not news articles.
Somehow, Tana came out looking at it's like a tall, skinny white guy came up to her and said the N-word, and she ended up looking like the wrong party.
Because she is the wrong party.
Somebody say Mario Party?
Mario Party.
No one said Mario
I
Party.
mean, if you look at Instagram,
We're not getting back into this. This is old news.
Somebody say favorite game?
Mario Party 10. Please be good.
Nintendo, please sponsor us. We want money.
It's like Marvel movies.
you
They're
know,
getting so
ba-
good at making movies that I have such high hopes.
Mario, the video game character, sponsor us.
Yeah.
You're fictional, but you can still give
I
us
know
money.
you got
You
some
can
of
do our
those
plumbing
coins.
if you want.
Yeah.
What?
He can do our plumbing.
Yeah.
He isn't a plumber. He's done everything except for
He's
plumbing
a
in years.
plumber.
He's only done plumbing once.
What, you mean the movie?
Not what Danny DeVito.
Do you remember the movie?
The movie? No, he's cannot. Okay, excluding the movie, he's only done plumbing once.
I think the movie is the only canon Mario story.
We're not gonna talk about the
I
canon
think what
Mario
was it
stories.
like? You know the live action Mario TV show?
Yeah.
I think that's canon.
There was
Were
a
the
live action.
There was a
TV
live
show.
action TV show.
I think, or the guy who famously did LSD on set. I think
like
did
it's-
the guy who played Mario who did drugs on set was the one basically perpetuating an anti-drug message.
Yeah, there's the meme where it's him and he's like sweating balls up there, right? Because he's on so many drugs and he's like, remember kids, don't do drugs because if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. And then,
Go to hell before you die. Hey, you've served your sentence. You're free to go to
Was
a nice
that an
cushion
actual
heavy.
like public service
it
announcement?
was, yeah.
To be fair,
It
it's
was at the end of the Mario episode.
stop it.
Oh, the
Get
world
some
of
help.
PSAs is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is.
Covered in full detail by JonTron.
True. Go
John
watch his video.
Tron, please sponsor us.
We like
For
money.
recommending.
We
your
like
video.
money, not a white supremacy. So keep your debates with Destiny away from us.
Yeah.
Destiny, please sponsor us.
Yeah, we like money.
We like money. We,
As you can tell, this is going to be a reoccurring theme during the podcast.
We will agree with you if you give us money.
Yeah.
Wait.
We'll revoke Chair's least favorite game of the year if you give us money.
We'll give you. We'll do Destiny. I don't even think he liked Destiny. But besides the point, we'll do anything that is.
Oh, I'm getting a call from an unknown number. I should put it on.
Let's not.
Yes,
Yeah,
please
no.
have a caller. We'll have.
Yeah, we have our first caller.
We'll have Enrique from
From the homeland.
from Geico, and we'll have Enrique from Geico.
That'd be great.
My-
Getting some phone service, some computer helpline on here.
We'll
Yeah.
have we'll
Yeah,
have
hey,
we'll have Enrique.
welcome. You're on air.
We'll have Enrique from Geico.
Phone like Walmart and be like, asked to speak to a customer service representative and
Do
be
you
like,
have
welcome,
a-
you're on air.
Hello, senor. Do you have Battletoads? No, but the best one was there's a guy who's like there's a story about like a 4chan story about a guy who's like a telemarketer. So he's just dialing one number after another. He dials it. Somebody's like, "Why? How are you calling?" So like basically it's just this huge interrogation. Like you're not supposed to call here. Like apparently police and like like basically the FBI ransacked his workplace and everything because he accidentally called the director of the FBI's number.
What?
Due to a number that the computer generated, he called the FBI director's phone.
That is amazing.
And
would be
I'm
so
not
cool.
even mad. That's amazing.
his workplace got searched and everything. And and on to more 4chan story.
No, we're not going on to more 4chan storyboards.
We were
Incest
on,
is wincest.
We were on the trending tab, right? Or did we move on?
Yeah, we were
from
talking
that?
about the trending tab.
We were on the.
We barely covered the trending tab.
No, not at all.
There's not as much to talk about. I mean, it's YouTube does dumb shit with the trending tab.
Well, you started off, Jose. What are your thoughts on the trending tab?
Yeah.
I think it should be deleted, and they should just fix the
I don't-
recommended.
yeah, I
think
agree.
they
I
should
don't think they need
They
it.
should remove it and fix your
When has
recommended
anyone
page.
ever looked at the trending tab and been like, yes,
I found
Jake
the-
Paul, that's what I want to watch.
I really quite enjoy the recommendeds as much as maybe they're not
The
perfect, but
recommended
the
is where
trending
the
tab.
stuff you actually want to watch come out, because there's stuff that you watch, it's related, and they show you videos that you might want to watch.
I
Yeah.
think trending
And
should
then
stay.
Despacito.
Trending should stay, but they
10
should
hours,
split it into
420 Jake
categories.
Paul dabbing edition, but
yeah.
They should split the trending tab into different channels. They have one channel for trending music.
I think
a
they
different
shouldn't. I
channel
think
for-
they should just delete the trending tab.
Yeah, delete it, but take the remnants of it
They
and
should
build them into
fix-
something
I
useful.
feel like they should do it. Like they should have your homepage. They have recommended and trending now, where they have just a bar that you can put show more, but it's a small bar of like the top 5 trending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's trending, but like related to your interests trending. So it's like basically
that's
a recently
recommended.
uploaded recommended page.
Well, that's just
You like
that's-
animation,
yeah.
you have the odd ones out. You have your lineup of like the odd ones out, and sure you can still have a music video in Logan Paul, but you can choose to block out like with your interests. You don't like comedians at all, right? They won't put Jimmy Kimmel there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Jimmy Kimmel a comedian.
Well, there's a pretty low bar on YouTube. There's a pretty low bar in general. I mean, you can if you're funnier than Amy Schumer or James Corden and you're marketable enough, you can be a
The
comedian.
problem with people insulting Amy Schumer is that they've started comedians make entire shows where the baseline joke is that Amy Schumer can't be a comedian.
Which is a fact.
It's not even a joke anymore. It's just a dead horse. Like
But it's just ironic to use it as a joke.
See, if she learned how to be self-deprecating.
No,
Oh,
no, it's
God.
not even that. It's with Amy Schumer. She doesn't know how to tell a joke. She kind of like she alerts you that a joke is going to be coming. She like half-ass walks you through the joke, and then after that, like she just kind of tells you like there was a joke, and I think it would be nice if you laughed at it. And she's just not funny because like she steals like the issue. Like if she had original jokes and they're not funny, sure she's trying, but here she steals jokes that are originally funny and she
makes them
she
unfunny.
ruins them with her delivery. Like James Corden kind of has that. He's a fat guy, right?
Yeah.
First thing, and it's like James Corden at least has something that brings people to him. Amy Schumer is just she's a popular woman, and like, well, I don't like
the
I don't
butt of
like
her
I don't
joke.
like using the diversity like excuse for like getting like what's it called like just disembowling people. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically Amy Schumer's whole marketing. Is
The
like,
point of her
she's
joke
a
is,
woman.
haha,
and
I'm a girl, laugh at me.
she's fat and she's a girl, and that's the
I
whole
have
butt
not
of her
watched
jokes.
any Amy Schumer. I just know the name from
Good, don't
Trump
watch.
and having insulted her.
I watched her I watched her Netflix special, and then like I occasionally see like her jokes and like
They're
a
bad.
comparison. Like I watch better comedians. I mean, like they're even political comedians are better. Like stuff like John Oliver, Samantha Bee.
I'm quite
They
pleased.
can be funny at times while still delivering some sense of news.
Yeah.
So, like they're in the middle.
I'm quite pleased with how comedians are becoming more youth. You know, youth is becoming more interested in them. Like Bo Burnham, among others. Like what was the other one? You can haul 100 pounds.
Oh, Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan, stuff like that. Jim Gaffigan, I don't. Bo Burnham, I guess, sort of is going for a younger audience occasionally.
Bo Burnham
but
is
like
an
Jim
edgy
Gaffigan
younger audience,
is
but-
actually appeals to some people of the younger audience, and I
Yeah.
quite enjoy that. The younger audience can, like that sort of thing because it's a different side of entertainment that I saw none of when I was younger.
Well, this podcast, I think we're about to wrap it up, has been a collective mess. We've covered topics that we never planned out, never researched.
Yeah, we went in the strangest of directions. Did we cover everything on the page?
Wait,
did.
let me read.
No, we're not now.
Too late. This is my notebook. I get
Not
to
anymore.
All right, let's talk about tentacles then. 'Cause
No.
That's my favorite topic.
Stop. In conclusion,
Don't cap it off. You have to. If you cap it off, you're reading everything on it.
fine, I'm not going to then.
Then, all right.
In conclusion, this has been the second episode of the I Am Chair podcast.
We can't label it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm your host, Pine
There's no
Jolt.
theme.
Yeah. I'm your host, Pine Jolt, and I'm joined again by Frost Blooper, Jorge.
Hopefully, we can. Hopefully, we don't have to belt Will.
Yeah, we'll get the thumbnail a bit faster this time.
And I'm Chair, and we all do hope you enjoyed.
We're gonna take away your chair.
I have a stool. I've told you many times.
On that
We're gonna
note,
take
thank
it
you for
away.
watching, and we'll see you next week where we'll hopefully have a bit of a planning. Thank you. Bye.